And then we're going to go from the top to the bottom of the book and the mean that is 8.5 inches. Yes, this is actually going to be the pockets.